Judge Lee, I don't believe you were truthful in answering Senator Lee's questions. You wrote an article in 2010 entitled An Overview of Special Populations in California Prisons, did you not?
Yes, I did.
Okay. And in that article, you argued that male prisoners should be allowed to claim they are transgender in order to be assigned to a female prison, didn't you?
As I said to Senator Lee, that was an article which arose from a symposium, which I just moderated the panel, and then summarized for the symposium edition the different arguments and issues that were raised.
Well, I've read your article, and I don't think that's accurate. You identify certain special populations, transgender people, immigrants, and racial minorities. And you're very critical of the way the California prison system treats them. For example, I'm going to quote here, your words, not mine. The prison system relies heavily on a dichotomous sex-based means of classification. Prisoners are classified by their biological attributes rather than their gender identification. As described by one of the people in the California prison system, the classification process is gender neutral. We really don't distinguish between transgender and non-transgender inmates. Did I read that correctly?
Senator, I don't recall it word by word, but
There it
think
is.
so. Okay.
And at the end, here's your conclusion. Your words, not mine. In conclusion, because each of these populations, including transgender, traditionally has been marginalized by American society based on their gender, race, ethnicity, or status, they are often further distanced from and marginalized by society upon incarceration. A recent president said you can fairly judge the character of a society by how it treats the weak, the vulnerable, the most easily forgotten. Did you say that?
That's what was written.
Okay. And so, but you're saying your article is just a summary of the opinions of people that you moderated?
I moderated a panel. There were 3 panelists about those different topics. That's what was represented in terms of the issues. And
well, let me just ask you, do you think that a male prisoner convicted in a court of law on a final judgment should be allowed to claim that he is transgender in order to be assigned to a female prison?
Senator, as discussed earlier, the issue of assignment in facilities and such is one which is being actively litigated in California and may become before me. If I were to be
now all of a
confirmed,
sudden you can't answer it. You answered it in your law review article.
Senator,
You were for it. But now you can't answer it? Is that your testimony?
my testimony is that was an article from over 13 years ago, and that as a judge now, and as I have been for nearly the last 5 years, my responsibilities are to fully, faithfully, and
The truth is, you believe that a male prisoner should be able to allow at the sentencing phase to claim that he is transgender in order to be assigned to a female prison. Now, you believe that, don't you?
Senator,
You wrote it.
again, that was a piece which summarized and came out of a symposium edition about the California prison crisis generally.
You found it at Georgetown, the Georgetown Journal of Gender and Sexuality Law Journal, did you not?
At Georgetown, I was one of the founding members. I didn't, of the...
Did you found it? Did you help found it?
I was one of the initial founding group members.
All right, and one of the first articles was entitled that you picked was entitled, quote, "The Politics of Eradication and Future of LGBT Rights." And in that article, you accused Republicans, or the article you chose accused Republicans of being influenced by, quote, "a desire to eradicate LGBT identities." Is that accurate?
Senator, I was an articles editor in the first edition.
You don't remember
was
that
never-
article?
I do not recall. I do not know whether or not I edited that.
Okay, well, here's
article.
another article you picked. Quote, here's the title of the article that you picked for your journal. "Gender is Fake. The Ongoing Need for an Equal Rights Amendment." And the article says, quote, "The need for the ERA is more pressing now than ever, given modern conceptions of gender as a social construct." Did I read that right?
Senator, I don't, as I said, I was an articles editor who
Look,
edited. a
Senator
couple
Durbin may
articles.
save you here, but I don't think you've been honest with this committee, because I've read your writings. And I'd respect you a lot more if you stepped up to the plate and said, "This is what I believe."